Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up out there in the woods with the morning wood? It is your man, Uncle Neely, checking in on a Saturday. Didn't necessarily know we have wood today, but here it is. So we're going to chop it. Y'all know the deal, man. The NCAA transfer portal officially opened on yesterday, January 2nd, with an absolute frenzy. Early morning, over 2,000 college football players entered the portal. That's in the first few hours of the open. And that number rose to over 4,500 players. 4,500 already in that thing. Teams across the country are working. Recruits are setting up their visits. And this window is going to run through January 16th. You look at a team like James Madison, who was just in the CFP, have already lost all 11 of their offensive starters, whether that's due to the portal or graduation. Some other big name news out there. You look at Brendan Sorsby, Cincinnati quarterback, one of the top available quarterbacks in the portal, is scheduled to visit LSU and Texas Tech, as big schools are going to be chasing his services with that almighty dollar. Florida Gators, huge early exodus there, 22 players into the portal. Hours after the open, following coaching change, of course, and same thing in Penn State, turnover there. Multiple Nittany Lions, including key contributors like the quarterback Ethan Grunkmeyer, the D tackle Xavier Gilla, have all announced their plans to enter the portal. North Carolina State wins a big portal battle by retaining their quarterback C.J. Bailey. He was a playmaker who was expected to draw a lot of interest, but you got to re-recruit your own teams to a lot of degrees. And shout out to NC State for keeping that quarterback. Notable prospects like Marquise Johnson, the wide receiver, Cam Coleman, the top wide receiver, and DJ Lagway, Florida's QB, and lots more already generating buzz with multiple schools will be chasing them and trying to get them on campus. With thousands of players making themselves available and the portal condensed into just one mid-January window, this is shaping up to be one of the wildest player movement cycles in memory. 4,500 already in that mug. That ain't a typo. That's a traffic jam. The thing is, the biggest used car auction in the world, Craig, top of the world. Everybody got a for sale sign, but everybody ain't gonna get sold. See, day one was all about hope. That was yesterday. We now day two. This is Saturday, day two. And this is about reality. This is when agents stop smiling as much. This is when parents start asking tougher questions. This is when coaches already know who they're calling back and who they're letting sit right there. Because here's the truth: everybody can't be a starter, everybody can't get major NIL money, and everybody can't move up. That's the market. Some of these kids are going to learn real quick. Like today, the grass ain't greener. It's just a different shade of grass, a different shade of even stress. It's the same. No massive QB dominoes yet, as we discussed as we sit here this morning, but those visits are lining up, phones are buzzing, and staffs are doing their math. Well, Uncle, what do you mean by math? You got roster math, you got scholarship math, you got budget math. Been telling y'all all along, this ain't emotional, this is business. And remember this, y'all. If your phone ain't buzzing by day two, that silence is very loud. And for my Colorado fans out there, fans of Coach Prime, I say it again like A. Rogers, RELAX. Relax. Coach Prime don't shop out of desperation. He shops with a list. Colorado is not out there chasing volume. They're chasing what fits. Oh, that's a bar. I didn't know there's going to be a bar. But look, you got to look at experience. You got to look at toughness. You got to look at development guys who understand this ain't Instagram football. Prime ain't panicking, and neither should you. Because when it comes to the transfer portal, Colorado Buffaloes are operating on a very different wavelength. First things first, understand the plan. Coach Prime doesn't use the portal to just plug leaks. He uses it to upgrade systems. And this year, you got a new offensive system for sure. So this isn't about panic. This isn't about headlines. This is about fit, experience, and growth. And yes, Colorado has had players into the portal. I think right now tied for 6. That's not news. That's college football in 2026. Some are looking for a bigger bag, and I ain't mad at them. Some of those were depth pieces. Some were young players looking for more reps. Some were guys who realized the competition level ain't changing, but they are. And here's the key part that a lot of people don't want to say out loud. Colorado is not losing core culture guys at an alarming rate. That's normal and that's healthy. Coach Prime and his staff already know exactly what they're hunting. This is surgical portal work, y'all, not shopping sprees. Colorado's going to be looking in the trenches, man. Veteran offensive linemen, big bodies, game reps, men who've seen blitzes and have lived to tell about it. Same on the defensive side of the ball. Interior presence, D-line depth, guys who can rotate and still hold the line late in games. And of course, linebacker experience is going to be key. High football IQ, communication skills, players who can get the defense lined up without always having to look at the sideline. In the secondary, same thing. Competition, not just talent, but dogs, length, ball skills. Coach Prime wants guys who, instead of trying to stop a play, want to make the play. And guys who aren't afraid of being coached hard. This is about raising the floor, not just chasing stars. So we got to clear up what Colorado does not need. We don't need those portal tourists, all a team full of one-year mercenaries. And you don't need players chasing NIL checks without accountability. Coach Prime isn't interested in babysitting resumes. If you don't want to be developed, you probably do not belong in Boulder with him. And this is the part the fans need to hear. And it's why Colorado is so calm right now. Prime ain't rushing because he don't have to. He's got his quarterback, and football is a quarterback league. He's got skill talent that fits this new go-go system coming in, and a culture that players around the country want to be a part of. Yeah, the portal can be loud, but Prime is methodical. Phones ringing, conversations quiet, moves intentional. So while over 4,500 players flood the portal, Coach Prime is just swimming with everybody else. He's standing on the edge of the pool, clipboard in hand, checking boxes. And when he moves, it's going to all make sense. I told y'all before, I want y'all to measure what went out statistically and what's going to come in when the dust is settled. Because we got to separate facts from feelings. Because the transfer portal don't miss, people do. And for the Colorado Buffaloes, the difference between a portal hit and a portal miss is crystal clear. A 3-win season or a 3-loss season. You choose. A portal hit is boring on Twitter, but it's beautiful on Saturdays. A hit checks boxes with experience, multiple starts, real snaps, not potential, but proof. Role clarity. He knows why he's coming to Colorado. He knows how he'll be used, and there are no surprises. Coachability. Can he take hard coaching without folding? And development doesn't offend him. You got to have a sense of urgency and understand the time is short, and you got to practice like reps matter, because with Coach Prime, they do. In the locker room, you got to be neutral or positive. No drama, no entourage, no Instagram press conferences, sharing hit pieces and liking negative stuff. That's a hit. You may not know this guy's name in August, but by October, you'll be feeling him. That's the kind of guys you're about to see coming in here. So what does a portal miss look like? I'm glad you asked. It usually comes with a big name but small impact. The resume is louder than the play. The expectation mismatch wants star treatment without star habits. A one-year mercenary mindset, which is no buy-in, no patience, no roots. Resistance against development. They hate coaching. They hate structure. They love excuses. Then you got culture friction, always questioning, always side-eyeing, bad body language. And worse, they always almost right. I was right there, coach, but if that player don't fail because of talent, he fails because of fit. And this portal window Here's where Coach Prime will separate himself: by not chasing stars, but by recruiting alignment. It's got to fit. Colorado portal kids usually share one trait: they know who they are before they arrive. Because Prime doesn't sell fairy tales, he just tells the truth. You'll compete, you'll be coached hard, you'll earn everything. And if that scares you, you were never a fit anyway. Fans, we fall in love with names. Coach Prime falls in love with what he sees on tape. He's just not going to panic when somebody leaves. Coach Prime is going to evaluate why they left. Sometimes a player entering the portal isn't a loss, it's a correction. See, every roster has a ceiling, and portal hits raise it, and portal misses expose it. Like I've said before, the portal can be like free agency, but it's more like speed dating with consequences. And the team that wins, they don't chase volume, they don't chase hype, they chase what fits. So Colorado and Coach Prime haven't been in the business of trying to win in January. They're trying to win in November. Remember that. Every roster has a ceiling. And sometimes the only way to raise that ceiling is to let some people out the door. So when players leave the Colorado Buffaloes, that doesn't automatically mean Colorado got worse. A lot of times it means the program got more honest. The portal doesn't just move players, it exposes fits. Some guys want immediate reps, guaranteed roles, comfort over competition, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean they belong in a program built on pressure, high visibility, and development. When those players leave, that's not failure, that's alignment. Depth without trust is useless. And here's your final truth, day 2, about the portal. Losing players isn't losing ground when the standard stays high and the plan stays clear and the culture stays intact. Colorado isn't bleeding talent. They're sharpening the blade. And when the season hits, you will see the difference. So let me leave you with this. The portal didn't break college football. It just simply exposed it. It exposed who's ready to compete, who wants comfort, and who understands that pressure is the price of relevance. For Colorado, losing players isn't losing ground, it's clearing the runway. Coach Prime isn't building for January headlines, he's building for November Saturday wins. So don't panic over names, don't chase noise, and don't confuse movement with momentum. Because when the dust settles, the teams that win won't be the loudest, they'll be the most aligned. Kind of like morning wood. And that's when no coffee needed. Man, y'all make sure you stay tuned as we go into this first true weekend of 2026. Big Dog Chico will be covering Deion Sanders' final game this season as the Browns travel to the Cincinnati Bengals. So watch his live show. Unc and Chico will be back live about 2 hours after the game ends on tomorrow, that being Sunday. And then the morning run returns midday on the first Monday of the new year, January 5th, which is also J5. It is Morning Wood. It is Uncle Neely. And we are out. Y'all have a great weekend.